All right. Greetings, everybody, and welcome to another presentation from Desert Waters Staff Strong Series. I'm Justin Stevens, Desert Waters Chief Operating Officer, and I'm presenting today with Stephanie Rawlings, our DWCO's Deputy Director. Our monthly Staff Strong Series presents some of the products we develop to support corrections agencies in advancing staff wellness. One way we do so is by equipping agencies with educational materials that are correction specific, relevant, and evidence informed. We also have materials for other public safety organizations that are available. And we like to point out that this month we celebrate 23 years since our incorporation in Colorado as a 501c3 nonprofit. So happy birthday, Desert Waters. Today's presentation features our proprietary course, the Supportive Correctional Supervisor, which is abbreviated TSCS. Because, in corrections, we got to have more abbreviations. A little about today, we're going to go over who we are, why we offer TSCS, the goal of the course, TSCS unique aspects, the training details. If you've been here before, you'll meet our master instructors again, and then we'll have time for questions and answers at the end once we're done. So about Desert Waters, we're a 501c3 nonprofit with, we need to change that slide, 23 years in the business. We look at public safety, or we help public safety staff, families, and agencies. Our focus has primarily been on corrections, and that's our primary focus. However, we have ventured out into all first responders. We offer wellness trainings, research, Safe Haven wellness program where we walk alongside agencies to help with wellness programs and creating a wellness program that's sustainable and helpful to staff. We also have the Safety Net accreditation program where we can come in and look at the wellness program and accredit the wellness program based on the criterias in the Safety Net program. We also have educational materials. We have books on our website and also our training materials, and then we offer support. And the one support that I like to throw out there is our Ventline email, which anyone in corrections or correctional family members can reach out. Ventline at desertwaters.com. It's a way to kind of vent frustrations out there and not be in the realm of your own department when you send that out. So why we offer TSCS? Correctional staff research shows that extremely high rates of mental health disorders among COs. So that's one main reason. Supervisors directly impact COs' mental health. So we have COs experiencing mental health disorders, and supervisors directly impact their mental health. Supervisors indirectly impact COs' mental health by impacting the health of the workforce culture. COs benefit from supportive supervisor styles during periods of stress. And supportive supervisors cultivate positive workforce cultures that promote staff mental health, benefiting all stakeholders. So that's going to benefit the COs, it's going to benefit the department as a whole, it's going to impact the population as well. The goal of TSCS is to equip supervisors with data-driven skills and knowledge to support subordinates proactively and during crises. Thereby fostering healthy workforce cultures that promote wellness and benefit the entire agency. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our Deputy Director, Stephanie Rawlings.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. Thank you, Justin, for the intro. If you are comfortable in doing so, I'm going to invite you to just let us know where you're joining us today in the chat. And if you have any questions, feel free to load those up into the chat as well, or you can wait until the end of the presentation and we will have a Q&A time for you. We'll pull those questions out of the chat at that time, where you are welcome to come off of mute and also ask those questions. So welcome everybody. I see where you're coming from in the chat. That's awesome. Thank you. We appreciate you taking the time. So the unique aspects of our supervisor training, first and foremost, is it's one of the things that we're most proud of for all of our trainings is that we are offering a corrections specific perspective, which, at the end of the day, there's a lot of leadership training out there. There's a lot of supervisor training out there. A lot of it is phenomenal, but it is very hard to find things that are correction specific, especially when dealing with topics of staff wellness, when dealing with topics of leadership. And so this is an evidence informed course that is correction specific for supervisors. And what we're really trying to load up in this course is strategies for prevention and intervention. We're not looking at only playing offense or only playing defense. We're looking at both and being able to filter what's needed on both sides of that equation. We are also looking to develop skills and action items, things that supervisors can deploy no matter their level of influence, no matter what their sphere of influence or their level in the agency. If they are managing and leading other people, we want them to have the skills and the action-oriented results from this training. And we're doing that, we're teaching that through group discussion of, again, correction specific scenarios, skills practice through role plays. These are real life scenarios that our corrections team has come together and created. And the course is authored by our executive director, Dr. Katarina Spinaris, and it is based on research and consultations with a number of correctional leaders, corrections staff, our team of subject matter experts that work with us and beyond. Also, just feedback from the field over the last 2.5 decades. Our fee for this course is $16.95 per supervisor who attends. So if you're wanting to know what kinds of things we're going to be covering in this course, what's going to set it apart, we're going to present data, we're going to present some research, but what we're going to do is also align it with several areas that research shows that we typically struggle with in our culture. And so you can see some of those modules. We're going to look at the state of the staff, and we're going to look at the state of supervisors. We're going to talk about concepts like emotion or moral integrity, compassionate interest, and those two items may be new to you. They definitely were things that I had looked at from a different perspective, but very much needed in corrections. Emotional intelligence is certainly a buzz for most supervisor trainings that you'll see out there right now, but we take a really unique approach through the corrections lens at self-awareness, self-management, subordinate awareness, and relationship management. Because at the end of the day, we want positive workforce cultures. And we know that this particular level of supervisors has a humongous impact on what that looks like. So how does this look in delivery? So it is a direct delivery. Now, if you're familiar with our other products or you've attended other Staff Strong courses, webinars that have highlighted our other courses, you know that usually we have a direct delivery option and we have a train the trainer option. Right now, this course is only direct delivery, and what that means is that master instructors will be instructing your supervisors if you have them attend, meaning they are not going to be learning how to train this course back at your department. And so that'll be for in-person and online delivery, it will be 5 days. Now, there may be, for the online portion, departments can certainly select that if they want to do the 5 days over the course of 5 weeks, maybe they want to do the 5 days over the course of 5 months. There are certainly pros and cons to each of those. And I say pros and cons because I'm one of those people that loves the in-person, but I also have recognized I live in a virtual world. And so we are happy to create customized options according to your agency's needs. Included in the course is also agency consultation. And what we do when we consult with you is that we help you select the supervisors that would probably have the most meaningful experience and that would probably have the best success at implementing the skills and the action items that we're going to discuss in our course. And so we want to walk beside you. We want to make sure that you guys are selecting and sending the people that are going to be able to really sit and reflect with this material and bring it back to their department in the most meaningful way. We also offer refresher training, and that is to ensure the success of the supervisor even post the class that they attend. And we also include any agency communication as needed following the training. Justin and I were talking the other day is that, you never know what's going to pop up after training. There may be a scenario or a situation or something that comes up that maybe our training didn't address directly. And we always love to hear and assist when possible agencies that are trying to implement strategies to further supervisor culture, workforce culture, and staff wellness. So, who might be presenting this material? Let me introduce you to our team. This is our team of master instructors from Desert Waters. And between all of these wonderful people, we probably have, I don't know, probably close to 200 years of corrections experience. But the best part about our team, aside from just being lovely people, is that we represent a huge number of job titles, experiences, agency experience. We have, you would be hard pressed to find a job role that one of these people on this team hasn't served at some point during their career. And so we are very happy and honored and take pride in the team that we have working for us at Desert Waters. And so these are some of the individuals that you can see out teaching our courses. Justin, go ahead to the next slide real quick before we get to questions. Before I get to questions, I'm going to questions next. I do want to offer some next steps and contact information. If you would like more information or you would like a call or a meeting or a consultation on this course or any of our courses, you can certainly send a request through our admin at desertwaters.com account. You can also call us. And we want to make sure to invite you to next month's Staff Strong, which will be our course Improving the Well-Being of Corrections Professionals. And that'll be on February 12th at the same time. And so we will have a registration link that will go out, just like we do with all of our courses. And if you have any questions about any of these courses that we have talked about in Staff Strong, you are more than welcome to reach out to us and we'll get back to you promptly. And now we will go to questions. If you care to put your question in the chat, or you are welcome to come off of mute, we will be happy to answer any of the questions you may have.
I came off of mute really quick. I don't have a question, I have a comment. I just want to say, in corrections, in my experience, I worked for a larger agency before, but the story was always the same for about the first 15 years of my career, was you promote to sergeant and you do the job the next day. And so you put on these pretty little stripes and you start doing the job, whether you know it or not, sink or swim. And you get to not only learn the response side of it, but you have to learn the staff disciplinary side of it. You have to learn all the rules and regulations that you're responsible for. And it wasn't until I think a year after I got hired, I actually went to a sergeant training where they told me how to do my job. And it's kind of backwards. And we did that for years in the department. And that's one thing I love about this training is it actually looks at the people side of supervision. There is yes, we have policies, we have procedures that we have to follow. We have code 3, we have to go all out and go, put the fires out where they are. But the people side of how to deal and manage people and how to supervise appropriately. I think this course really does a great job of touching on that. And I just want to throw that out there because it is something that I think corrections we've as a whole have failed in supporting the supervisor and supporting staff. And I think this course does a great job of addressing that.
And just me, if I may add, this is Katerina here. I was told by veteran staff, meaning staff who worked in the field almost 30 years or more, that supervisors had to learn on the job, and they were so overwhelmed trying to learn on the job that their own job that they could not be there for the people they were supposed to be supervising. They could not be there as mentors, support, Q&A, anything, because they were overwhelmed with trying to catch up with their own stuff and make it themselves. And so obviously that's not very productive. And I also want to add that the IWCP course next month is the subtitle is Understanding, Acknowledging, and Overcoming Traumatic Stress. So the whole thing is on post-traumatic stress issues, on the nature of trauma, and ways to deal with skills-based ways to deal with different aspects of the impact of trauma. So it's kind of a heavy course, but has a lot of quotes from staff to make it relatable to staff. And I think it's a very foundational course given the statistics in the field about correctional officers in particular, but all correctional employees being impacted by potentially traumatic events on a pretty regular basis. So back to you, Steph and Justin.
Any questions that we can answer about this course? Any further information? Again, if you think of a question later, you are more than welcome to send it to our email address on the screen, and we will be happy to respond to those questions.
And if I may jump in again, there is recent research, and we're going to be presenting it also in February in our 90-minute webinar with correctional supervisors, actually jail supervisors in this case, not prison. The impact they made on staff's mental health and the culture when they were trained in being more of a servant leader in their style of leadership. So the evidence accumulating, we had a study with Dr. Brocato that Desert Waters conducted that showed how critical the influence of supervisors was on staff's whole being, like morale, job satisfaction, exhaustion levels, family health, mental health, physical health. I mean, it's like left nothing untouched. So the supervisor's state of being and state of mind is more than critical as far as the outcomes of an agency's interactions go. And also the other thing I want to say is that we are addressing the issue that supervisors themselves at every level need to be supported by their own supervisors, because you cannot pour water for somebody to drink out of an empty cup. And a lot of supervisors may be running on empty because they are not receiving the support they need from their own supervisors. So they have nothing to give to those they're supervising. And that's something that we need to remember. It doesn't stop at the sergeant level or the lieutenant level, it goes all the way up. And everybody needs support. I don't know about you, but I do need support. We all need support.
And I think one of the things we started talking about even, last fall, we were thinking about different directions that Desert Waters was going in 2026. And one of the things that we kept coming back to was supervising, being a supervisor in corrections, and the difficulty of that role, the complexity of that role, especially in kind of the post-COVID staff retention, major overtime era, if you will. And one of the things that Katerina and I just kept coming back to as we were preparing articles for our monthly publication called The Oasis, which go subscribe if you haven't yet, was focused on leadership, focused on supervising, focused on the skills necessary for the work that we do and how different that is compared to other professions. And so you will be seeing in 2026 many, many webinars, many articles, many research studies, many things, trainings presented from our agency that are focused squarely on the issue of supervision and leadership in corrections. Are there other? I see the question. Sorry.
Yes, go ahead, Steph, with the question from Jeff.
So right now, our training program is for any county, state, municipal correctional agency. So we can certainly this is not just for large systems. This is for any agency, community corrections, parole, probation, juvenile justice, any correctional agency or setting. This material will be relevant for all of them.
Justin, do you want to say anything about our YouTube channel, about what you're doing there with the postings? And
I'd love to. YouTube channel, Desert Waters Correctional Outreach. You can find us there. We post all of our webinars there. We have playlists, which free webinar playlist is all of our 90-minute webinars that we do once a month. I post them usually about a week after the webinar, after we get it edited, cleaned up a little bit, make sure that there's no extra sounds or voices coming through. And then there's also a Staff Strong playlist, which has all of the Staff Strong series on there, the 30-minute webinars of all of our courses. There's also some other videos on our channel. Katerina talking about the corrections fatigue process model and other topics like that. So check those out. And those videos are just a resource for everybody.
Yeah, and make sure that you also, if you haven't done so, please follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook. We post blogs. We post our flyers announcing where training is coming. We post flyers for all of our webinars, Staff Strong series. You can forward them to your friends. You can repost them for your colleagues. You can invite other people to follow our page who you think might find our material useful. And we're just trying to build a community out there, and social media is a big part of that for passing on information about what's going on in Desert Waters. We also highlight our Oasis articles periodically, so you can link directly to the articles as well online. So I don't see any other questions in the chat, and I want to be respectful of everybody's time. If you do think of something, again, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Justin has posted the next 2 webinars links in the chat as well. You can go and register right now today, so you don't even have to watch for the flyers or the emails. And we look forward to seeing you guys again at our next webinar here in a couple of weeks. And we certainly thank you for taking your time out. We know how busy it is, how crazy it is in those facilities. Everybody's working to the bone, and I'm sure holiday things piled up. So we appreciate even the short amount of time that you can take to attend our webinars. And we wish you all a wonderful week, and please stay safe out there.
And a good year, a good, safe, sane, peaceful year.